Jacqui-Lee Pryce for Shadowboxruk UK down in South London at the Bronx Gym with Daniel Fitzgerald. How are you doing?
I'm very good.
I've just interviewed your charger, Ruth Huntley, a new kid that you've just taken on board. Talk to me about that relationship.
It's going really well. She's not been here long. I think a month or 5 weeks maybe. But yeah, no complaints. She's great. She's doing really well.
Do you know what? She said she's learned an immense amount in just such a short space of time. I mean, that must be music to your ears.
Yeah, that's good feedback. That's what you want, really. She just comes in the gym, gets on with it, doesn't complain, goes home, comes back the next day. She's a pleasure. And she's only 18. You know, her attitude at that age is what's most impressive.
I agree. I mean, let's talk, obviously, briefly. She had a professional debut back in January.
Yep.
Didn't go her way, but she's kind of taken it upon herself to change teams. Very mature, and like you said, she's only 18 years of age.
Yeah, and I'm sure her previous team done a great job.
Absolutely.
Because I think her amateur coach had been part of her career since she was very young. And then she's just got to a stage where she's decided to have a change. And Sonny Warren recommended me. We spent about a week together, and she's not left. So yeah, I think a change is scary for fighters, but sometimes it's needed, or sometimes it has to happen. I don't know in this case, but I just know she's here and she's done really well. I'm really happy with her. She's a good kid.
Yeah, she seems it, to be fair.
Yeah,
like sometimes just teams don't gel.
Yeah.
Also that kind of murky, and I don't mean this in a disrespect, but sometimes an amateur coach, they kind of have to make that transition to think like a pro coach, and it's all a bit... Sometimes it can be hard to make that transition.
Yeah, it's difficult because I don't know her previous coaching team personally, but based on what she arrived to me with, I'd say they've done a great job. With regards to her making a change, it's not something I really think about as in the cases why she did it. I just know that, you know, she was presented to me by a management team, and then I've got a job to do. But I would always give credit to any coaches that have been part of fighters' careers, because they've all played a part.
Yes.
And it doesn't also mean that if you change a team, your previous team were no good. It just means, you know, you've changed for whatever reason that may be. And they're reasons I always try and keep out of, because even, you know, there'll be people that could train with me that change. Doesn't mean I'd like to think the part that I played wasn't any good. It just means sometimes people move on.
It's true, and actually, it feels to me, and especially, you don't seem like the type of person that feels like, oh, I'm taking on this person and they're my project. Yeah. It feels a little bit like you're adding to whatever they came with, rather than trying to break them down. And
yeah, I always say to everyone I train that I'll be here maybe for all of your career or part, and as long as we're honest with that. And if you ever feel like you want to leave or I want to resign, we're okay with that. We can work. I don't I don't like it when people say my fighter. We don't own them. I just work with them for an amount of time. That's the way it works in my head, and then I'm happier that way. So she understands that, and yeah, like I've said, whoever she's worked with in the past, and she may work with someone else in the future. It's all down to her and her management. I just get on with my bit, which is training her in the gym, and then it's easier.
Yeah, no, it's great, and I absolutely agree with you in terms of sometimes you're in someone's life for a short period of time, and then someone takes over, and then sometimes people are coaches for life, and it just it just depends. I like that attitude though of yours of it's not my fighter.
Yeah, you know, I've got fighters that I'm friends with that I don't train anymore, and I'm happy about that. I don't think things ending have to be negative, and unfortunately it is a lot in boxing, but not with me. Yeah, I agree. Whittaker versus Cameron.
What are your thoughts on that fight? Because obviously Whittaker now has joined up with Andy Lee. Andy Lee's a quality coach. That seems to have changed the dynamic slightly.
I don't know yet. We don't know. Let's see. I think Andy's a great coach. I think Benn spent a bit of time with Adam Booth and then settled with Andy Lee. And he's obviously on a journey of finding a new coach. And if he settles with Andy, it will probably take an amount of time for changes to happen. Although some of them can be in a short space of time. It'll be interesting to see. Benn's obviously got a very unique style, and he seems to be very headstrong in what he does. I think Andy Lee's a good choice coach-wise because I'd like to think that he'll respect Andy. Adam Booth would have been good as well. Either of those guys. I mean, Adam trained Andy, didn't he? I'm interested to see if anything is different.
Yeah, I think there was a kind of general consensus when you look online. People kind of were thinking it's definitely going to go a Cameron way, and this is casuals, this is media, etc., etc. However, as soon as they kind of found out like Andy Lee was involved, they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but I guess it's just like it's what you want to hedge your bets towards. Obviously, not obviously. I guess casuals can think, oh, if you've got a bigger trainer, you'll do better.
Yes, yeah.
And it isn't necessarily the case.
100%.
You just never know until it happens, you know. But I'm interested to see what happens, more than saying I think this will definitely happen, because we don't know yet.
Yeah. And again, it's always about what that person or what that team can achieve in that short space of time and what sticks. Because Andy Lee has said this himself, that when you are put under pressure, usually a fighter will revert back to what they know. Yeah,
that's a very good point. Can I just silence my phone so it doesn't keep vibrating in my pocket? Okay. Reverting back to type is something that should be covered, I think, in training, and it's a good point that Andy Lee's made. And I think if you don't prepare correctly with regarding that, it can be a massive problem, because people go back to what they're comfortable with, and when the danger is there, that could probably, I think there's an argument to say that could make things more dangerous. So that's why, you know, training and in a way that helps you bring all the components together as a fighter is important, not just to generalise, you know. Looking at components like Andy Lee has, I guess, it's really important.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm really intrigued.
Yeah, me too.
Your thoughts on who's edging it? Who's edging it for you at this moment in time?
I just don't know. I don't know, because I haven't seen anything in Benn Whittaker that I'm impressed with. Like, I've seen a lot of heart from Cameron, and I'm impressed with that. But I would be thinking, you know, Benn technically is a better boxer in theory, but I find it hard to weigh the whole thing up, because there's so many possibilities in that fight. It's not as one-sided as some people think, I would say. If that's the shortest answer I could give you. So
when you say it's not, because the other argument could be, well, he's a, you know, Olympic silver medalist, decent fighter. You can't get to the Olympics without being a good fighter.
I don't know about that. There's a lot of Olympians that are not that great, and you know, that's something that I just it doesn't really mean much to me, because you're not in the Olympics now, and when you get to the pro ranks, you've got a different kind of situation in front of you. So you could be an Olympian, but it doesn't mean nothing to me.
And when you say it's not going to be as one-sided, I just wanted to pick up on that point. Are you saying that? Who are you talking about in that scenario?
The commercially bigger fighter normally is favoured by the casuals, and they'll push Benn Whittaker to be, you know, the star. And I think Ben Shalom said, I heard something on the TalkSport, he said it's the Benn Whittaker show and all that kind of stuff, but it obviously isn't that one-sided, because we saw the last fight, and I only saw bits of it, to be honest, and it wasn't one-sided. And we saw holes in Ben Whittaker when he fought. I can't remember the guy he fought for Liam Cameron, and that guy just wasn't having any of his dancing and moving around. He said, "I'm going to punch your face in."
I can't remember who it is, but I think that was when people started to doubt it.
I'm not saying Ben isn't any good. Like, I'm sure he's very capable, but I think it's just going to be interesting to see what Andy can do with him more than anything.
Yeah.
I think Andy's a great coach.
I think he's a great coach, and I think that they're a good... Well, obviously I don't know, but when I heard that, I was like, oh, this kind of changes things for me.
Yeah.
This changes things for me. And I do think Ben is talented, and I think that sometimes you just need the right person to bring it out.
Yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
But online, honestly, most people seem to be rooting for Cameron.
Yeah, most people follow what most people say, so...
Do you not think it's an underdog thing, though, as well? They're like, yeah, come on, underdog. Because he's still the underdog. Even though he, like...
Who, Ben?
Yeah, no,
Liam.
Cameron is apparently still the underdog in terms of...
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Some people love the underdog, some people love to follow, fashion. I just don't know in this fight, because I wouldn't write Liam Cameron off. And a man who needs to fight for his dinner is dangerous.
It's true.
Yeah, so I know if I was Liam Cameron, what I would be thinking, So good luck to the pair of them.
Fair play, sir. Yeah.